Recently found out I'm 28M, terminally ill. What messages should I record for my girlfriend, 27F? I don't really want to get into the details, but my doctor estimates I only have a few months left. This will be my last Christmas. My girlfriend hasn't been coping well and I'm worried she's only going to get worse afterwards. We have been together for 4 years and have practically been inseparable since. Admittedly, we're quite codependent, but it works for us. I want to record some voice messages that she can listen to in the future to reassure her, encourage her and comfort her when I can't be there to do so. I know this is quite personal and should come from my heart, but I'm kind at a loss for words. Does anyone have any ideas or situations where these messages might come in handy? Edit. Thanks for all the ideas everyone. I'm not the most creative person, so this has helped massively. Can't state enough how much I appreciate it. You guys have given me a lot to work with, so I'm gonna make a start. Good luck with the future, everybody. Maybe you could record some messages where you say whatever it is you feel about her, what she means to you and how much faith you have in her, and make sure she receives them by entrusting them to someone. Yeah, I've bought a little MP3 player to put them all onto. I was surprised to find Sony still makes them. I thought I was going to have to buy an iPod or something. Tell her that it's okay to be happy again. That she doesn't have to feel guilty for smiling or laughing. That it's okay to celebrate holidays or birthdays or to have fun again. That you won't be upset with her for not being sad forever. That you don't want her to be sad. And tell her that it's okay to love again when she's ready. That she doesn't have to feel like she's doing you wrong or cheating or anything like that if she does meet someone again. Yes, I think this is the most important message to record first. She's still so young and has so much more life to live. I don't want her to be alone. Thank you. Why don't you start recording your guy's last few months and edit it all with the voice notes smile? I love this. Thanks a lot. It's added to the list. First, get a second opinion. My mom's first doctor gave her 2 to 3 months. She lived for nearly 2 more years. Long enough to see a grandchild graduate high school, and see a great-grandchild be born. Second, find your local families with terminal loved ones group counseling. My mom's doctor helped set us up with our local group. It's free. They have grief counselors and you are able to speak with other people going through the same thing. It helped me and my mom tremendously. The counselors worked with us individually, together, and in group sessions with other families that had a terminal loved one. Cannot tell you how much this helped me. They even helped me plan my mom's funeral and helped us set up hospice when the time came. And to this day, 1.5 years after she has passed, they check up on me and I keep in contact with other survivors I met in the group. The messages are wonderful, and something your grief counselor will help you write or video. It's actually one of their steps in helping you come to terms with being terminal. My thoughts are with you. I'm so sorry you're going through this. I think it's important to have one each for all the firsts if you can. Her first birthday without you. First Christmas, your birthday, the anniversary of your death, Valentine's Day, the anniversary you met and got together. Then ones that say how much you love her. One with it's okay to move on. One hoping she'll be happy and you adore her so much. Maybe you could also set up an email account or a diary she doesn't know about, but have it left with details how to access it after you pass. Email her all little thoughts that you have and anything sweet that happened lately. Any feelings you want her to know but after. I'm so sorry and wish you all the best. My boyfriend seems resentful towards women because he believes men are treated unfairly by society, and it's wearing on me. Edit, BF, M35, me, F34. Edit 2, wow, lots of comments at work now, will reply soon. Edit 3, home now. Well, I'm getting both awarded, Thank you, and downvoted to hell. Very interesting. Trying to reply where I can, thanks to everyone that wrote thoughtful comments. The way he talks about it whenever he sees or hears anything about a woman being oppressed or mistreated is filled with anger, and I don't know how to respond. Honestly, it bothers me quite a bit. The latest example would be yesterday. There was a news article about a server who got a bottle thrown at her face when she tried to enforce mask mandates or whatever, and a crazy customer retaliated. There was a picture of this girl with a bloody gash on her face, and his first reaction was to go, if it was a man nobody would care. Seriously? First of all, gender had nothing to do with the article. In fact, the attacker was also a woman. And secondly, caring about something that happened to a woman does not automatically equal caring less about what happens to men. Whenever he refers to feminists, he's really referring to the extreme subset of men haters and not the ones simply trying to fight for equality. I think he might not even believe women are oppressed at all, but doesn't say it not to offend me. He also doesn't understand that the term toxic masculinity actually refers to behaviors that are harmful to both men and women, and seems to think it implies all men are toxic or something. Like, he brings up often how people don't take male mental illness seriously, which I think is very true and should change. Well, that's because toxic masculinity perpetuates that men can't have emotions or be vulnerable. We are agreeing here. My boyfriend is a really special, sensitive, wonderful person with a history of childhood physical and sexual abuse that led to panic attacks, depression and anxiety. It really upsets him when he feels people are saying men are privileged and their suffering isn't real or as real. Yes, there are those people that act like white straight men are the devil and it's okay to shit all over them because they are the oppressor, and that's wrong. I wish he could see that that's not everyone and that minorities fighting for their rights don't invalidate his suffering. How can I express that I think he needs to stop having this giant chip on his shoulder without being insensitive? And that as a woman it upsets me when he acts like my whole gender have a victim complex. Your boyfriend needs therapy. You haven't dated him very long. Maybe cut your losses abs, try for someone that doesn't hate women. This is sensible advice op won't take. I really have nothing to add that hasn't been said here. He needs a therapist and he will not be by your side if you ever have a problem in that area. One thing I can add is that I knew someone who was like this, and they never changed. Never will. I ended that friendship after 2 years. If you go to someone and tell them about the issues you are facing and the only thing they have to add is, well, if it was a man no one would care, it seems rude, disrespectful and kind of incel. Why waste time on someone like that? A 35-year-old man with these views is deplorable. Plus they've only been dating for 4 months. Why in the world would you waste your time? BF M35, me, F34. Well, that seems old enough to know better. My boyfriend is a really special, sensitive, wonderful person with a history of childhood physical and sexual abuse that led to panic attacks, depression and anxiety. Welp, therapy gets posted to nearly every thread on here and so here's me piling on. 4 months, together. Too early in the relationship to be carrying somebody else's baggage. Dude's 35. He's not changing. He's very ignorant and it would take having someone sitting him down constantly explaining exactly how privilege works and how toxic masculinity work against him and everyone. Like, this guy's trauma caused him to have his head up his ass. You're 4 months in. Can't change people. That's their decision. My wife is becoming closer with a coworker and making excuses, culminated in a fight between us after an office party. Hi everyone, I really need to vent and also just try to make some sense of what I'm going through. My wife has been working closely with a guy at work and it has developed to them walking together a couple mornings per week, coffees and lunches, texting after hours, etc. I've expressed concern, saying that I feel she is giving the quality time that she might give to me and our kids to this guy. He's divorced, has kids of his own, and she has invited him and his kids to work at our house whilst I've been at work. I didn't find out about this until after I found some of my stuff had been rummaged through, and when I asked she admitted that he and his kids were over and his kids must have rummaged through my stuff. This has all now culminated with an office party. I've never met the guy, and to try and put me at ease my wife said, "Oh, this will be great, you'll finally get to meet him." That put my mind at ease until we arrived to the party and she seemingly made every effort to avoid going over to talk to him. She introduced me to every other co-worker and even introduced me to a co-worker who was standing next to him, and then said, "Oh Yando, by the way, that's such and such." I'd never seen him and thought, shit, I've never seen this dude, and I know you have been working closely and forming a friendship bond, but it seems like she didn't even want to introduce us. After that I was on guard. The guy was, in my opinion, more attractive than me. Taller, physically more dominant, chiseled jaw, alpha personality, etc. I barely spoke to him because I clicked within a minute that this guy was an alpha and wanted me to engage with him. And I wasn't playing that. But what I did do was step back and remove myself from my wife's side to see what transpired. As my wife drank a bit more, she would periodically go over and join his group for conversation. During this time I continued to mingle with other of her co-workers. I even went to the bathroom, and when I returned she was in a group conversation with this guy, and when I went back and stood by her side after a minute, he looks at me, doesn't say a word, and walks off to another conversation. During the drive home I asked my wife to show me the messages she has been exchanging with him. They are not sexual or overtly intimate, but they are detailed and consistent. A lot of emojis, funny gifs, banter, competitive banter, etc. I feel crushed. She assures me nothing has or ever will happen, that I can trust her, and if he ever made an advance she would end the friendship. But I call bullshit, and I can't seem to get over it. I need some advice or support. This whole ordeal is making me feel very pathetic that I'm just this wimp watching his wife flirting with an alpha male. And also quite ashamed because it's making me want to be extra controlling and want to monitor her movements and phone messages, and that's certainly not like me. Any advice would be great. All I can say is trust your gut. You're no dummy. Also, I find it very inappropriate she invited this man into the house without saying anything. She definitely has an emotional connection to him that goes beyond that of a normal friendship. But the thing that really was not okay was to invite him to your house and not inform you before or after it happened. You had to find out. Why did she do that if it was so innocent? Where were they when his kids rummaged through your stuff? Because no one was watching them, that is for sure. In the end, if his kids wouldn't have rummaged through your stuff, you would have never found out. Why did she hide this from you? Why did she never wanted to tell you about it? Why the secrecy? I couldn't accept those lies. But she hasn't lied. She lied by omission. That is just a weak excuse for a lie. Your wife knows how you feel about him and still wants to stay in contact with him. So you should expect that this behavior goes on. I guess that you need to learn to deal with that. I am pretty sure that she wouldn't stop it if you ask her to. I've asked her to cut all ties and to maintain a professional relationship only. If she doesn't, then I think things will escalate. Been in your situation before and it didn't end well. Your gut is usually correct. I don't know the right solution because pulling away won't help. Being possessive will give her an excuse. Telling her to cut ties will probably be temporary, or she will hide it better. If she's a cheat, then no barrier will prevent her. Personally, I would go with my pride and logic. Have a calm discussion about what you have noticed and how it's not okay. Don't decide what she does, but it's on her to be smart enough to know what to do next. If you don't see immediate change, then get your ducks in a row, a lawyer, and the fuck out of Dodge. I would rather be alone than in a toxic relationship, but that's just my perspective. Oh, and don't be afraid to check in from time to time to make sure it sticks. Lol, people that say you don't trust me are usually cheaters. Lol. What happened in your situation? Thanks for the advice. She's already dodging and being defensive, trying to say that if I make her stop talking to him it will affect her work, and that now if she suffers at work it's been me who has sabotaged her career. Mind you, she says she works for this guy, so apparently he is her boss.